Hi everybody, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts, and today I'm going to bring you a really cool video. What we're going to do is we're going to use this little oval plaque that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I painted it white, and we are going to use one of my clay bumblebees. This is one that I used my foam clay on. Let me go grab my clay. Okay, so this is some clay that I got in Happy Mail, and I think I showed you guys this a little while back. But anyway, I am using this foam clay, and it's by Cal Palmy, and it's air dry, non-toxic. And so this is what I use when I make my little clay items. It's super lightweight, so it doesn't make things extra heavy. And for me, it's amazing to work with my molds. I'm not using this bee today, and really the only reason I'm not is I noticed there's a couple of little flecks of a couple of spots on here that I'm going to have to get off of it or paint it or whatever I need to do to use it on something else. But I wanted to show you guys. I'm not showing you the part where I put the clay in the molds. I have shown you guys that before. This is a mold that I just took out of the freezer. Now when I get mine all set up and ready, I pop them in the freezer. This has been in the freezer overnight, so several hours. But if you put it into the freezer for about an hour, or I like to go as long as 2 hours, it will be much easier to take out of the mold, and you won't mess up the detail side. So that's the main reason for using the freezer, guys. Don't take it out of the mold soft, because you'll ruin the whole thing. It won't be any good. So I've got to do this part fairly quickly because it does start to defrost really quick, and I've got 3 molds here that I'm gonna remove. So the first thing we're gonna take out is gonna be our bumblebee, and you'll notice I'm gonna show you this bumblebee next to the other one that is already dry, and show you that this clay does shrink after you take it out, and that's why I kind of like to put these on while on my project while they're still wet, because they tend to keep their size a little bit better if I do that. So this is my bumblebee, same mold, same bumblebee. Look at the difference in size there. So that's how much this one shrunk. So yeah, that's the difference between the two. Now that's going to make this one bigger on this piece, and I'm okay with that. It actually kind of hangs off the edge, which I'm not thrilled about, because this one looks really good just in the middle there. I wasn't thinking about the fact that it would be that much bigger. Huh. What do I want to do, you guys? I have another one that I want to do that's a square one, but I do like the size of this bumblebee. So let's see, what do I want to do? And I've already put the flowers on this one, and that's not the way I was going to go with it. So we're gonna use this one. We're gonna go with what we decided to do from the get-go. So there's the bumblebee. I also molded some flowers. And I did everything just in white, you guys. I didn't add any green for leaves. I do sometimes add green into the leaves of these, but I didn't want a ton of strong, vibrant, dark, or I should say dark colors. So I left it all in white. So these are the flowers that I made. Aren't they gorgeous? Look at the detail in those, you guys. The detail is perfect. And I push and I push and I push with the clay into my molds, because you can see this mold for these flowers is very deep, and it's got a lot of little crevices, some that you have to get way down inside there because it goes way back. See my nail? So it goes way back there. You got to get that clay into all of those crevices. So you just push and push, and I take and I use my nail and I'll get it, you know, way back in there. I make sure that every crevice is filled. This is really, really pretty, you guys. I didn't know what this mold was. This is one that was sent to me in Happy Mail at one point from my friend Melba. And oh my goodness, as soon as I did it, I was like so excited the other day. Look at this. And this is also a pretty deep one, so you have to get into all of those crevices. And this is a nice clear mold, very soft and easy to move around when you're putting that clay in there. But look at this. Is that not gorgeous, you guys? Look at that. I love, love, love these flowers. So, so gorgeous. So anyway, this is going to go in here. And this is a nice size for the center of that bumblebee. Look at that. Oh my word. It's gorgeous. So we've got those all done. I'm not going to put them on this yet because I want to do my trimming on the plaque first. So what I've got for trim is I've got some faux pearls. It's a one with the string in between the pearls, and these are a good size. I'm going to say these are about a 12 millimeter. These are smaller silver beads that actually I've just had laying around for a very long time. I had this piece left and I found it and I thought, you know what, that would be really pretty in this. I've got my B7000. I have both sizes just in case. I'm going to set that aside. I have my nippers. I have some flowers. I've got paper flowers and I've got porcelain flowers. I don't know which ones I'm going to use yet to add to this because you can see even on this bumblebee, I'm using the same molds, but I added some paper flowers to the side just to add some added interest to the bumblebee, and I think it looks gorgeous. And then I also have a little tiny bumblebee here, one of my little gold ones. I may or may not use that. And a couple of little pieces of lace. And then I also made a tassel. Well, this I've had laying around. This is a tassel I already had made, you guys, so that's why I didn't make it in front of you. This I was planning on using in something else. I have this other project going on, and I've already pretty much done it, but I'm going to do another one. I wanted to try it first. Tell me what you think. Should I do a video on how I did this? Look at this. These are all clay flowers that I used the molds for. Is that not gorgeous? And then these are also molds that I used from my clay, my collection of molds. And this jar was already had this pattern on it. I just spray painted it white. And then I also have this on the back side of it. So I was going to use this on this jar, but I figured I can make another one for that. So I will just make a new tassel for my jar. So I have that, and then I also have this that I will probably be putting on the bottom, and that's where the tassel's going to go, down here at the bottom. So yeah, I feel like I need to come back a little bit. I was planning on using this on it and putting it like at the top like that because it's so gorgeous, and I got this all together just for this project, and unfortunately the bee is too big, so it's not going to work. So I'm going to have to use that on another piece, and I've got another one that I'm making that I may be able to use that on, so I'm not too terribly disappointed. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my trims first. And I'm going to use my B7000 because I want this to stick really well. So let's get that out. I don't have a lot of time right now. I may have to stop and restart this at some point because I've got to go pick up Jeff's prescriptions. And he's not here, so that made me want to get started on this while it is quiet on the home front. I should have used hot glue on that first pearl, but I didn't. So we're going to go around, and I am going to try and hold this in place. And I made a mistake here, so I'm going to go ahead and get my glue around the edge of this, and that way it can get a little more tacky also before I get around the whole thing. I think I'm going to only be able to go halfway, and we're just going to lay this. This is one of those times when the pearls are not going to face up because I want that look from the top or from the front. So normally I put everything so it's facing up, but this is not one of those times. These pearls are perfect for putting on the edge of this and giving it that look of coming off the edges of the plaque. So that's why I did that. Oops, I'm pushing them off. Okay, let's get these all nice and on there, and then I'll sort of get them all straight. It's easier to straighten them out when and I have the perfect space between the first and the last pearl, so that's awesome. I always worry that I've cut it wrong or something because it was hard to hold these and measure them around this plaque because they were sliding all over the place. So I just kind of tried to hold it in one spot and then grab the next spot and hold it and go the rest of the way around, and marked the origination location so that I knew exactly how far I needed to go to get it on there all the way. But we want to get it as straight as we can. And you can see it's sitting on there pretty darn well already with that B7000. So it's already kind of tacky enough from the get-go to hold it down. And the B7000 is going to hold it on there really, really well. So I'm going to set it down, and look at already that plaque looks so gorgeous with that on there, right? And now I'm just going to go around and I'm going to press it in because I want to make sure everything is stuck down to that wood. And again, this is just one of those little wooden plaques that you get from the Dollar Tree. I don't know if they're carrying them anymore. I had a friend tell me that her Dollar Tree people told her that they were going to stop carrying they're going to stop having a crafting section. Oh my word, I stuck. Oh my word, look at what happened. I didn't realize that they had gotten on top of there. Lordy, lordy. It's okay, we can fix it. You're okay, little bee. You're okay, little bumblebee. I gotcha. You have to be so careful with this because when you take it out of the mold, it becomes very, very sticky as it starts to what do I want to say? As it starts to unfreeze. Duh. Wow. And I got this one stuck to there. So there we go. We're all right. I didn't ruin anything. Oh, I would have been so crushed. Okay, so I've got those all separated off to the side. Okay, we're going to be careful not to let anything touch them because we don't want them destroyed. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this on. And this is going to go right around the top section here, like that. Super pretty. I had some pearls. It was like this, only it was pearls. But it was like just a couple of pearls shy of getting around the entire thing. So I had to scrap that idea. And let me tell you, it broke my heart because they were so pretty. But then I found the silver ones and I thought, you know what? Those will work. That'll add some different detail to it. And I was happy with that. So I'm just putting this all the way around that edge because I want it to come up to the top edge of that little, what do you call it? Like that little coved spot there. I know what it's called, but I can't come up with it. You know, here my husband's a woodworker, and I can't think of the word. That's how I am lately. I'm coming up with words. Oh my word, it's scary sometimes when you can't think of words that you know, like the back of your hand. Tell me, how many of you are going through that? Oh my word, it's scary sometimes. But I know it's not, I'm not losing my mind, you guys. I'm just, I got a lot on my mind, but I'm not losing it. I need to get a paper towel real quick so I can wipe off my glue tip. Always wipe it off and then always in between put this back on. I didn't between those two parts because I knew I was going to use it right away. So, but now I'm going to put it on there because I don't know really what I'm going to do next, and if I'm going to, I don't think I'm going to be using the B7000 for the next item that I'm gluing on. I think I'm going to resin it onto the back. And this piece is cut longer. I didn't even cut it. I just left it how it was, because I figured it'd be easy to cut once I get to the end. So, and we're going to cut it right at that little pearl there. Let me get my scissors. And I like the silver added into this. It just adds that other element that, you know, I like. When I make things with different metals, I like mixed metals. I don't like all the same. Not a super huge fan of yellow gold. I don't know why. I guess, I think it comes from back when I was in my 20s. I was looking at some stuff, jewelry, and I saw some pieces, and some were like platinum, some were just like 14 karat gold, and some were like the 18 and 24 karat gold. 24 karat gold, I think, is absolutely hideous. It's so yellow that it looks fake. It just doesn't look real. And it looks like plastic to me, like gold covered plastic. And so I have never liked it. Now if you stick 14 karat gold or rose gold or something like that in front of me, oh no, I'm all for it. But I do prefer silver or white gold. So that's my preference. And everybody that buys me rings and stuff always buys me gold. And how many times have I said I don't like gold? A million. They still buy me gold. I don't know why. People just don't listen, I guess. Now, what you could do, if you wanted this to all be matchy-matchy, you could take and put these on here, and then you could spray paint the whole thing and have it all be white and just have that extra effect with the pearls. And see how pretty that looks? It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me pick her up. Put her a little bit closer to you guys so you can see. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. I just think that it looks so elegant. So, next thing we're going to do is we are going to flip it over. This, we want the white side to go down. And I'm going to put it about like that. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to make sure I'm in the center, because that's important. We want it to be in the center. And in fact, I'm going to do the smart thing here. And grab a ruler and a pencil. And this is in the middle, almost 7 inches, so that would be 3.5. And it's kind of right there that I want to be. So there's the middle that way. And then this way we are 4 and 1, 2, 3 quarters plus 2. So 4, so 2. And let's see, 2, and here's a half. So we're gonna go right there, I believe, is center. Okay, so here's my center. Right there. All right, you guys. So at least there I'm gonna feel, so I guess that way didn't really matter. Or that way matters. I need to see that one, but this one didn't really matter. So we're just going to take that. In fact, let's see. No. Silly girl. And I'm just going to mark it in a couple of spots so that I can see that pencil mark. I really don't want to go outside. I think it's supposed to be up over 100 today out there. And I have stepped outside a couple of times, but not happily. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some hot glue in a couple of spots on this to get it glued down. Make sure I'm in the middle, and you got to do this quickly because, why? Because it cures very quickly. And press it down. I'm going to flip her over and see if I feel like I'm in the middle, and I do. That looks really, really, really pretty. And this would be really pretty on the top. Absolutely 100%. I may change my mind and I may leave this on the top. So let's do the curing part first. And I can always hang the tassel at the bottom still. And I just need to hang it differently. Or maybe put something else down here at the bottom to hang it from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my BS resin, UV resin, This is what I use. I love this resin. And I'm just going to go in here and make sure. It doesn't really matter if, you know, you're going to see this on the back side, but who cares, right? It's the back. But I'm going to try and do it in a way that it doesn't look like weird and off kilter. I'm going to put it through the whole section, in each section, right up to the edge, just like that. And I'm going to use my wonderful Let's Resin lamp, and I'm going to cure that. And we need to stick something under there so it doesn't fall flat on top of the plaque, because we don't want the lamp to stick. Okay, so you guys, I'll be right back. Okay, so this is all done. I did add another of these to the bottom, and look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I could put anything in the middle of this and it would be absolutely stunning. It would be gorgeous with a vintage lady on the front of it. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? I need to get some more of these ovals. I have one more of these left, and I can see I'm going to need to put a little more. I guess it just was one little spot, but I did resin this on both edges, so I may put a little bit more resin on this at some point, but you can see it went on there really nicely. Now this has some overspray on the back side. I'm not worried about that from when I painted it white on that side. But I'm not worried about that, so we're not going to even deal with that right now. So we've got our bee over here, and she is actually starting to dry a little bit, but she's still, you can see, very floppy and movable. This is when you can put this on something that is round or, you know, like a different shape. And you can still, at this point, you can kind of press on it a little bit without destroying it. So you can wait for these things to cure a little bit, and you should if you're going to put them on something round, unless you're just, you know, you're not going to fool with it much. You're just going to lay it on there and let it go. But when you're putting it on something round, and by round I mean like a round cylinder shaped item, kind of like, we'll just use this for an example. This is a very small one for this bee, but it would work. It would be very cute on there. And you can shape it to that cylinder and then glue it on. Look how cute that is. You can glue all these bits and pieces down and they will stick. The B7000 is great for that, you guys. So just remember that. So what we're going to do, it's got a couple of little things on it from sitting on my table. Not that it matters, they're just little probably cut-offs from something that I cut apart and it got left on my table, and so this picked it up. It doesn't really matter, it's not a big deal, and I think maybe I'm just not going to worry about it. No one is, oh look, it loosened up. And then it fell right back into the same spot. There we go. I got it out. Nobody's ever going to see this side of this, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just kind of trying to smooth these little edges here a little bit. There's a couple of little bits where I cut some excess off. I can't sand it at this point because it's too soft. But I do want to put it on my surface now, so you can see that was stuck together. So that part is still wet. I can just rub it right back in and it's good to go. But these pieces on these edges are already hardening up. So let's get our B7000. Turn that over. And I'm just going to hold this in my hand to do this because it will be a lot smoother of a process. Don't put it all the way to the edges. You don't need to, and on this piece it's not going to matter because the underwood is just natural, but sometimes when you have a wood that has a stain on it, what will happen is when this glue gets on that stain, the stain wants to bleed through. And then you have that ugly spot, and then really the only way to cover it up is by painting over it again. We don't want to have to paint this again because we're going to decorate it and do all that stuff, and so at that point we can't paint it. I would have to do it by hand to paint inside those spots that would pop up through the wood. It won't be through the bee, it'll just be through the wood, but that's for any glue that kind of oozes out. So we got lots of little parts and pieces, so we're just going to calmly and not too impatiently get this glue on here. And this B7000 works amazing for this. It sticks this on really well. It really works well when this clay is still wet. It still sticks really, really well. And it gets almost more, kind of like almost more sticky. And this is not wet on this side, but it's not dry either. So, all right, I think I got everything. I'm just checking it out to make sure it's shiny all over. Put that aside. Now I gotta grab a hold of this guy. And maybe he shrunk a little bit. Look at that, he did. Look, you guys, he fits inside the frame now. He shrunk that much in just, it's been maybe an hour and a half. I had to go pick up Jeff's prescriptions. So I went and did that. And then came home. So we gotta make sure you look at it and get these legs kind of separated here. And get that all stuck down, just press. Now I can press on it without ruining it. And I can see there's a little bit of ooze out of glue over here. I'm gonna try and get as much of that off as I can now while it's still wet. Because I don't want it to mess up the paint job. So I'm going to push that up a little bit, just like that. Okay, she is gorgeous. And there's a little spot right there. We just want to get this off if we can. And it's already on there pretty darn good. Looks like I got a little bit of something on it right there. Not loving that. Okay, so that's on there already. Gorgeous. Look at that. I would hang it on my wall just like that. But we need to add some flowers. So we need to decide, see, this has a little bit of a, like a rose colored pink in it, a very muted pink, but pink nonetheless. So we could use some pink, but first of all, the first thing we got to do is we got to put this on there, because this is going on no matter what. And that's going to go kind of across the body like that. So let's get our B7000 on there. And I don't know what parts of this are going to really touch, if I'm being honest. Some parts will, some parts won't. Okay, and I want it so that the leaves are coming down here. So we're going to put that right there. Is that not gorgeous? And I'm putting it off to more kind of off to one side, because I want to add a couple of other flowers, kind of just like I did this one, just to add a little bit more, a little bit of color, like a little pop of color is what I'm looking for here. Look at that. Oh my word, is that not gorgeous, you guys? You gotta get some of these molds. Now, I hate to say it, but this mold here, I have no idea. I don't think I bought this mold. I'm going to look through my orders and make sure. I think I got this in Happy Mail, but I will try and look and see if I can find this mold, because you guys, you really should have that mold. It is stunning. And I've had it for a little while, and this is the first time I had used it, was the other day when I decided to put some clay in it to see what it was going to look like. And again, I got it in Happy Mail, I believe, from my friend Melba. I'm not positive. I may have purchased it. I don't know, but I kind of think Melba sent it to me in Happy Mail. I really kind of think that. I'm just going to cut some of these off here so that I know if I want to use them, I can. Now I've got a couple of rosebuds here as well. I've got 2 pink and a white. And I thought, you know, if I choose to use those, maybe to have those kind of coming off somewhere as well would be really pretty. So those I'm going to twist together. Didn't want to get it too tight up there, because I do want to be able to move these around a little bit to get them situated the way I want them. And that one looks good. I just want to make sure I get the good side up, the best side up. You know, sometimes they have a best side. And then sometimes I like to kind of twist them over a little bit. So we're going to snip that off like that. And I'm thinking what I'd like to do is have this kind of coming off onto that wing. Or, I mean, I could put it over here, but I'm going to put the other flowers over here. So that's kind of where I want that to go. Now, these are the paper flowers. And I was thinking I would use maybe 1 pink and a little off-white one there. And then maybe we need one like right there. And then these would come off right there. Something like that. Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? Oh my word. Something like that. And I really think the paper flowers are the way I want to go, because they're just, I don't know. I just think they look so beautiful on there. So I am going to hot glue these on. And I'm going to glue those two right now. Because the other one, I kind of want to have it kind of come up a little bit. Like that. And as long as it's twisted with the other two, it should be fine, at least for now. And let's see, I like this one. Let's see, I like this one. I like to pick out my favorite flower. They all have a little something different about them. Now, I considered using these, and these would have been really pretty on there too, but I think I'm going to use those on the other one. The other frame that I told you I've got, it's drying in the sun right now. I just painted it this morning. This one had double leaves on it, and I don't need that, so I'll save those leaves for another day when I need it. I do find times when I need some leaves. I'm going to put that one there. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Now this one, I'm definitely going to put one there. I'm wondering if one of these might be good though, right? Like right there. I think that looks good. This is a porcelain flower, but that's okay. I love these porcelain flowers, and these are, it's just small enough, but it's got the white and the pink in it, so I like that. And then I have a tinier one here, and that might go pretty right in there. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So we'll put a little bit of hot glue on that one. And we'll pop it right underneath the rosebuds. Just like that. Isn't that gorgeous? She's just beautiful. She is beautiful. Okay, and I honestly think that that I don't need to take this any further, really. I did kind of like it there, though. Kind of brings those all together. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that one there, and that will be it for those flowers. So we'll put that beautiful flower there. I need to make sure it sticks to something, so there we go. Okay. Have a little glue string right there. I want to get that out now while it's easy to get. Okay. Those we do not need. Dropping these little stems all over the floor. Okay, so that's on there. Now, the only thing is, I'm looking at this and I feel like she looks a little bit crooked, but you know what? It's too late to do anything about that now, but she's not very crooked, just a little bit. It's more in her bottom end, I think. It's fine. It's fine. I was actually thinking about putting a yellow flower in there too, but I forgot. That's okay, because I have, in this little bee, I have a yellow flower But what I was thinking was maybe I could use the bee there, or I could put it off to the side of Mama Bee down here. But you know what? It almost kind of takes away from it. I mean, it would be pretty, you know, either at the top or the bottom. It wouldn't bother me. But I still feel like it doesn't improve the look of this at all. So that's that. Now, I'm going to go grab something because and I was wanting to put, see, I forgot. I was going to use this, and I totally vegged out and didn't do it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to cut this piece out. Because I wanted part of it to go down here. And I really wanted part of it to go up at the top. Doggone. I can't believe I did that. Okay, here we go, guys. Let's hope I don't mess this up. I'm gonna get under here with a razor blade, and I'm gonna put some glue on this. Get it up under that leg there. And up under that. Probably should have used this one. Darn it. Carol. Oh, I hate when I do stuff like that. Hopefully I didn't just ruin it. I don't think so, because I think this one's going to cover the same spots. So I think we're going to be okay. The only thing I did do was I got a little bit of glue on the top of that foot. Or that antenna, I should say. That's okay. I got it off. I'm going to put this piece right there. There's the good side. Make sure you're watching your lace to get the good side the way that you want it. Okay. And we don't need this piece. And I'm just heating up the glue that's underneath that and repressing that piece down. And that we're going to put just like that. Okay, there we go, and that looks very, very pretty. I feel like I want to add one more piece over here because I feel like I've got a bit of a hole right there that I'm not crazy about. So if I put that right there, that'll fill it in, or I could put that in there, which really takes up a little less space and is probably more suited. Or it could go this way. Nope, I don't want it that way. That's kind of not fitting in there the way I want it to. So we're going to use this one. Okay, so there we go. That's all pressed in. Now, we want to put some flowers here, and I'm wondering if maybe the porcelain ones would look nice with this. And maybe, let's see. I don't have a bunch of porcelain ones out. And I don't want a ton. It doesn't want to sit still. That looks pretty on there. But let's look really quick. Maybe we want to go with a couple of these instead. Since we've got them over here, maybe those will be better. Probably those will be better. I have one rosebud here, but it's an awfully large one. I don't think I want to go that big. And I think I put my other ones away. I did. Let's see. I need another small flower, but I want it to be a... I've got some pink rosebuds here. Maybe just 2 buds. Okay, so let's snip that off. They're all twisted together. And if I put that right there, along with, let's see, where are you guys? One of these. Just a little pink one right there. I think that would be pretty. Or should I use a white one? I think the white one's better. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these down. This needs to go right there, so I'm going to kind of keep my eyeball focused, and of course I run out of glue right now. And I just stuck my hand to that. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Of course, now I've forgotten exactly where I wanted it to be, but that's okay. We'll improvise. And then these will go on top of that stem, and everything will be held down very, very well. This one I'm going to tip a little bit sideways, you guys, because it really does make a difference. Learned that trick, and I will never ever forget it. Maybe what I should do is put that there so that it comes together with that one. Yes. I didn't even think about that. I forgot I still had one more of those left. I have got to order some more of these porcelain flowers off of Etsy. I just love them. And they're really, if you go to the right site, there's one lady that sells them that I've been able to get an excellent price. And I usually will buy a set of the bigger ones, like, you know, like this size, and there's one size even bigger, kind of more, even bigger than that. And then this size, and then you can get the packages with a bunch of like these little ones. And I want to say she gives you like 100 of these smaller ones. And then it also has some little, like this one. It's a mixture of different small ones. Anyway, they're not all exactly like those. But anyway, for like, I want to say they're like 20 bucks. And then the bigger ones, you don't get nearly as many of them. They're more expensive. And then you can find one like this pink one here. Those are so beautiful. I will usually buy an entire set of pink. I like the pink, and I get the purple, and I do love the yellow ones, and I'm starting to fall more and more in love with yellow every day, you guys. Look at that. Just that little pop of yellow just really stands out. Look at how pretty that is. But then it just doesn't match anything else, so a little pop of purple. No. I wish I had a pink one. I have a pink one. I have a container that has some in it. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Put those out of the way. I was just looking at a few other little items that I have here, but I did not come up with a great solution as far as the particular flower that I was looking for, but that's okay because I think I came up with a better deal. I found this little, it's a little rhinestone heart. Really, really pretty one. It's nice and clear and everything. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop a little bit of B7000 on one side. We're going to put hot glue on the other side. And we're going to pop that down right in there because it looks so pretty with that little floral arrangement there. Okay. And then, sorry, I've got a glue string that feels like a hair hanging off of me. And then I also came up with this trio here for the top side. So we've just got this one little pink and white porcelain flower, and then a white porcelain rose, or porcelain paper rose. And these paper flowers are all from Bird's Place 21, you guys. Get over to Bird's Place 21. Get signed up. Get joined on August 8th. She is having a sale. And she's got an amazing grab bag. She's only selling one of the grab bags. I think it's like $25, but you would not believe the amount of lace that's going into that grab bag for $25. Oh my word, you guys. It's amazing. So get over there. I think the grab bag is going to be, now I think she's only doing one. She may be doing more of them. I don't know. Knowing Debbie, she'll have more. But I've only seen the one that I know about. So there may be more going out. So I'm going to take my torch real quick because I see, gosh, I don't want to burn this so badly. I don't want to burn this. I'm going to try and just snip it out. I have a little piece of that netting fabric right here that I didn't cut off or torch off before I put it on, because I had cut this piece apart. So in doing so, when we did that, I ended up with extra mesh in there. So there we go. Okay, so those are in there. We don't need that now. Look at that. Look at that, you guys. Is that not the most beautiful thing ever? Now here's my dilemma. I'm thinking about, well, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm thinking what I might do is I might resin the entire top of just the bee, not the background. But oh, wait a minute. I got to get what I was going to get. Turn. Be right back. Okay, you guys, I am going to try. I wanted to do this before I even put this together, and I totally forgot, and I'm so mad at myself. I'm going to take this off of here. I feel like that did not happen the way it was supposed to. Oh, maybe I just need to, yeah, okay, we're all right. So these are just little stickers. And I wanted to put this so that there were some flowers sort of coming out. And if I can do this, I can hide a little bit of that gonna try and get it up under there. I took a razor blade and lifted the leg, but it's not gonna go under there easily, so I gotta get it up under its rear end there and get up under that and like that. Sorry, you guys. I totally meant to do this before, and I didn't. I'm gonna figure this out, though. I still need a little bit more coming out down in there. So I'm gonna get under here. I'm gonna cut off another piece of the flowers and pop that up under there. This is just the top layer. Oh goodness, it's stuck to my hand. Come off. There you go. You can have the trash can. How's that? And then, I'm so sorry about my squeaky floors, you guys. This is driving me nuts. And this other section of the craft room that I was in before didn't have squeaky floorboards. But this section certainly does. It's part of the charm of the house. It doesn't bother me any other time other than when I'm making videos. Okay, so we're going to shove that up there, and that way we've got flowers coming out from behind that as well. And then maybe I can take a little bit of this and put it off to the side. Let's see how much of that will, you know what? We're going to lift that up a little bit, and we'll just put some more B7000 underneath that, so we're not worried about that. I'll put a link to these flowers as well. I love, love, love these flowers. You can get them on Amazon and you can get them on Temu. So either or. They're probably cheaper on Temu than they are Amazon, as is everything else. But you get them faster from Amazon. So depends on what you're looking for. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this just right so that I get the most out of it. Right there. And I'm bummed because that one flower is hanging over the edge there. Darn. The only thing I can do is cut it off. Okay, I'm happy with that. This side is good. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some more B7000, and I'm going to be thankful that it wasn't so cured that I couldn't get it up. And that leg. Try not to put any extra on there. And then up under here. Look at that. Oh, that looks so pretty. So I haven't destroyed it, you guys. So if you want to add extra things on after you've done a stupid mistake, like I did, and you guys know I do make a mistake in probably just about every video. And look what I found. This was a box of some of my decals that I found and some stickers. And these are all ones that I had cut off or cut out. And I had these blue ones that I had just bought not too long ago. And I had cut them apart and put them in here. Can't wait to use those. I got it. Now I'm thinking about what can I do in blue so I could use those, or at least one of them. Okay, so now I got to get up in there. And we're going to use flowers that kind of match these. And then I will definitely be putting some resin over the top part of the plaque. I have to. So that's just a must. That's okay. You guys probably don't need to stick around for that if you don't want to, because it's really not necessary. It's just squeezing a little bit of resin out and curing it, and that way I just know it's covered. But I will put it on camera just in case you guys want to see what it is I'm doing and how I'm fixing my forgetfulness problems. I'm going to pull some of that glue out of there if I can, so that I don't have a bunch of lumpy glue under there. Not that anybody's going to see it, but it will make it easier for me putting these stickers on to not have them going on top of that. I'm going to try and put this piece in there so that, well, actually, I think what I'll do is I will cut a couple of these flowers out of the picture. So that I can sort of add them. Do I want them to go They should go this way because that's up. So, okay. Let me get this top layer off. Okay, see, that's how it's supposed to come off. That's how the other one was supposed to come off. And then you put it on there because it is a decal. I was thinking, no, these must be just stickers, but no, they are decals. And let's get up under there a little bit further. And I'm losing all those pretty leaves, but there's nothing I can do about that. I need to get it back in there far enough that the flower doesn't hang over the edge. So that's about the best I can do. And it looks nice. But I do see where, oh, whoopsies, don't stick that down, Carol. I gotta pull off the, and that's what I need to do on the other ones. I believe this layer will come off and the floral part will stay down. It's supposed to. I've used these 100 times, these same decals, and I can't believe I didn't remember how they were supposed to work. But this one is not wanting to separate from that layer. Weird. Oh well, I'm not going to worry about it because we're going to put a layer of resin over the top of it anyway. And so if I look at it now, oh, I did want to cut. Did want to cut a portion of this off because there's some parts from the flowers that I cut off that I didn't get far enough down under. Okay, that should be good enough. Yes. Okay, I think that looks lovely. And I don't think we need any more flowers on there, so that's it for those. I'm just going to put them back in their little box here, along with the ones that we cut off. Throw those little bits away. And, okay, now we can move on. Let's put our B7000 up under here. I was hoping to keep this video really short, but I guess I didn't quite make it, did I, guys? It still shouldn't be too bad. If there's anything I can cut out, I will cut it out. And let's get this right there. And we need to get up under her face right here. There we go. Oh, you guys, I am starving. I am so hungry. And I've got to cook dinner. I swear to goodness, do you know how long it's been since I've eaten a meal out? It's been forever, it seems like. I guess we ate out like 3 weeks ago. We went to one of our favorite places called Rodrigo's, and they've got really good Mexican food. But that's the only place I've been out to eat. And prior to that, shoot, it had been way forever. Probably a couple of months since I'd been out to eat. It's very sad. Jeff eats out all the time because when I go to work, I definitely do not cook. So he has to fend for himself, and he is not a man who cooks for himself. So he goes out and gets himself something to eat, and then he doesn't like it when I don't cook for him. I don't want to cook when I'm at home, and I get it. You know, he wants a home-cooked meal, but sometimes I want to go out, or I just want fast food or something, because I don't want to have to cook. And I have not even had a fast food burger, and I cannot tell you how long. We did have some Raising Cane's not too long ago, a couple weeks ago actually, because our grandson was here with his girlfriend, and they were hungry, so they asked if we wanted to get some Raising Cane's, and we said yes, and we got it, and it was the most awful Raising Cane's I've ever had. I was so disappointed because I used to love that place. But it seems like all of these places, they start out really great and they do the greatest stuff. And now, it was not good. Okay, so that is our little piece. Is that not beautiful, you guys? I think it is gorgeous. So the way that I'm going to do the resin over the top is, I'm debating on whether I want to do that Bumblebee or not. So for now, I am just going to do the plaque part of this, and I'm going to try not to get the resin on this lace. So that's something that I'm going to be very careful and mindful of. But I do want to get right up against our little Bumblebee there, and as close to that lace as I can. I'll brush it closer with my brush. And that will make this whole thing almost look like porcelain with this resin on here. So I think I'm really going to like the finished look with the resin on it. And this resin is going to help hold everything down so that it never comes apart. And I know those decals are supposed to come apart. I know they are, but the fact is it's just a clear acetate that's over them, and so that will do nothing more than just be there. It's not going to show or anything. It's just going to be there. Maybe an extra layer of protection, who knows, but I think the resin gives plenty of that. Okay, I don't want to go too thick with this. I don't want to get myself carried away here, so I'm going to try and be careful. So we'll put that down. I have a little brush here. Oops, got something stuck to it. I've used this brush this morning, so I left it out because I knew I might need it for some other stuff that I'm working on, so yeah. And I also knew that I would possibly be using it on this. I really hadn't decided. And really the only reason I was thinking I wouldn't was because I had put the lace on there, and I thought I don't like when I get resin in my lace. And I will not cover my lace with resin. No, no, no. I do think my Bumblebee would be well served by having resin over the top of her, though. She would be more protected. And I really want to protect that Bumblebee because she's really soft and delicate right now. You know, with that foam clay, it's not a hard substance. So for a while, it takes this foam clay a long time to fully cure and actually get to a hard status. And whether it actually ever gets really hard, I don't think so. Just going to get in here and I'm just sort of painting it on a couple of spots here that are just barely peeking, but not enough to soak through that lace. And here I'm just going to go right up next to the lace. Okay, and I think I got it all over it. Let me look under my lights and give it a move around. Okay. There's a little piece of something right there. Got it. Okay, you guys. And I don't want to hold this up in the air too much because I'll end up holding it wrong and the resin will start to fall down the sides, and I don't want to do that for sure. Okay, I'm also going to take my torch and I'm going to gently, I see a spot here that I did not cover. I don't want to get the resin hot with this because I think I'm going to just go in right now and do our Bumblebee and get the whole thing done. And the way that I'm going to do that is in this way, the Bumblebee too, it will kind of go right into that plaque and it'll kind of almost give it that look of oneness. But I really only need to brush it on there gently and lightly. And I'm also trying not to get the resin on my flowers because I don't want to give my paper flowers that resined look. I do like to do that sometimes. And there are times when that is necessary for the look that I'm trying to achieve. But today, that is not the look that I'm wanting to get. So I don't want to get it all over these paper flowers. Although it does make them extremely pretty, it kind of gives them a almost a sort of opaque kind of a look, kind of a see-through a little bit, but not. Okay. And I can even dig into some of that resin that's right down here that's kind of pooled on there and just kind of drag it up over to those legs and stuff, and because there's plenty of resin on the base, but I also don't want to take so much of that away that I end up having to put more there. This clay right here on the back side here has a little bit of like green in it, and I don't know how it got that. I don't know what it's from, but it's there. And I'm a little bit bummed about that, but what can I do? It's like in the clay. It's almost like if someone had put paint in the clay. But I know it's probably from getting some kind of dye on my hand, and it got worked into it. So, and I just didn't notice it before. Okay, this is looking beautiful, you guys. Trying to get her legs all nicely covered and her wings without hitting that lace underneath. If I don't get all the way down to the bottom, I'm okay with that, as long as it doesn't like show. And I don't want it to show that there's like this one big spot with nothing on it. Okay, now to get these flowers, because they're going to get some love too. Jeff's out there with Holly, so he's talking to her. You might hear him talking to the dog. I could put some resin on top of these porcelain flowers, but I'm not going to do that because I think I want to keep those looking flat like the paper roses. At least that will be nice and consistent, you know, as far as the flowers are concerned. So I don't even have any idea what time it is. If it's time to start cooking some dinner or what, I don't know. I cooked dinner for myself last night because I had fallen asleep. I wasn't feeling well yesterday, so I had fallen asleep back in the bedroom, and Jeff went out and got himself some dinner, and yeah, no, he didn't ask me if I was hungry. He just went out and got himself some dinner, and so I made myself a burger just kind of on the stove, which I don't care for much. I like my burgers on the barbecue, but it's so darn hot out here in California right now that I just couldn't bear the thought yesterday of going outside and barbecuing in 103-degree heat. No thank you. And I'm not sure that that's exactly what the temp was yesterday, but that's kind of what we're looking at over the next couple weeks, is up over 100 up to, I think the hottest day, I want to say they said like 108 or maybe a little less than that. But yeah, I don't like the heat anymore. I used to love that. It didn't used to bother me when it would get that hot, but now it bothers me. Okay, so here's the thing. This, I feel like I should cover that as well, just because it is painted and it is gold underneath, and that gold is going to get scratched, and end up coming off. And if I just paint it on there nicely, this is kind of a pain right here. Doing it this way, I should put it in a little container, but my containers are in my cabinet here, and I just don't feel like going and finding one. I mean, I know exactly where they are, which is silly of me, but I just don't feel like it. I have to move other bins and stuff around to get to it, so that's the part I don't want to do. You gotta move them out, and then you gotta put them all back. Ugh, I don't want to right now. This is Carol being lazy. One more piece right here. And I'm getting a little over the edge on this, but I don't really care because I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put it under my heat lamp. In fact, whoopsies, I need to get a piece of silicone. Oh my gosh, that's a big piece. And that's a big piece. Oh my goodness. That's a good piece that I haven't cut on yet. I don't want to cut up any pieces that haven't already been cut on because I'm running out of nice pieces of silicone. Here's a piece right here. I can cut this one a little bit smaller for my tray, and I will be a happy camper. And let's see. Okay, now I just need to do this top piece, and I can pop it in the lamp. And I will put it under there for probably 2 5-minute sessions, because I don't know if any of you guys know this, but with resin, the smaller amount that you have or that you're using on a project, so if you're putting a real thin layer on something, it actually takes longer to cure than, unless you're doing like a really big, thick, huge project. I'm talking then, so a 1/16 of an inch like this, you want to put it under that lamp longer than something that is a 1/4 inch deep sometimes, because it takes longer to cure, and I do not know why that is. There's a reason for it, and I know it's been explained in 1 or 2 videos. At least I know that is the case with your standard like 2-part epoxy resin. Now, whether it's the same with the UV resin, I'm not positive, but I always keep that rule and use it. So whenever I have something that's thin like this, even though I feel like it shouldn't take as long, I put it in longer just because I'm afraid if I don't, it's not going to cure and I'm going to mess up my finish. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got some resin on my mat here. So I'm going to wipe that off a little bit. I'm going to squirt some of my alcohol on there. I'm going to wipe it and get that resin off of there. I'm going to set that back down, and we still have to put this on, but that's only going to take a second. And with this lamp, like I said before, I can put this lamp on I just want to make sure it's not falling down. I can put this lamp there. I'll just put that there in case it does. Well, I'll just lay it right there. Okay. Let's do this edge first, and then I'll move it over to the other side. Anyway. I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. I lost my train of thought. I got sidetracked, and here I am in that space again. Look at this. I found this while I was looking for some of my stuff earlier. Isn't that gorgeous? This is something that I got in some Happy Mail. And I don't know how well you guys can see this, but it's way prettier than what I see in my camera right now. It's like the colors. These are pink, and these are multicolored pinks. And then it's got these other stones, and it's a dangly piece. I didn't even realize I had this. And I'm sure I put it in the container I put it in, because there we go. That it almost shows off better without the direct bright light. But anyway, see that? It was in a container that I had put some of my special stuff in. So, yeah. So, I am going to... Oh, you know what? I'm going to move this over to this side. Get that side curing a little bit. And then what I would like to do is pull over part of my other lamp here. And I'm going to set it like that. And I've got it set to 5 minutes, and I'm going to let that side work. So I'll be back. Okay, you guys, I got it out of the lamps, and this is what she looks like. She's very, very, very pretty. Look at how gorgeous that is, you guys. I'm so happy with this piece. Now we need to put our tassel on, and then something to hang her with. So we're just going to hot glue the tassel on, and I'm going to put a nice big dollop of glue on that. And we're going to put it right here, sort of between the pearls and partially on the bottom hanging piece. And really we didn't need that on there, I suppose, but it gives me a place to hang the tassel where it's not right up on top of the plaque. So that's what that looks like. Is that not gorgeous? Seriously, you guys? Oh my word, this is so pretty. So what will we hang it from? Let's see. Let's see. I've got, let's see, yesterday I had out some laces. I'm trying to remember, did I use them or didn't I? I thought I kind of put them aside somewhere, but they're not where I thought I had put them, so I'm making myself think that I actually used them. But what I'm thinking is maybe to use a piece of this to hang it from. What do you think? Maybe we'll kind of hang it like from one of the side pieces. The only thing about this is that you don't necessarily see the roses the right way. I might be wasting a good piece of trim where I only have, let's see, I only have this much of this trim left in Olive Creation, so at least in my world. So, look at how pretty that is. I want to use that on something so bad. It's just a little silk flower, but it's so pretty. All right, so, oh, I know what I did with it. I have this thing hanging on my wall next to my tabletop here, and it has laces hanging on it just for the purpose of tassels and whatever else I want to use them for. I'm trying to see if I can find one that I like. Let's see, what would that look like? That's pretty. This is pretty. It's got scallops in it. I don't know that the scallops would show up well with that, so I don't think I'm going to use that. But I also have this lace, and this is a stiffer lace, but it's very pretty and dainty, and I think that is what I want to use. But first and foremost, I want to create a bow. So I'm going to create a bow here, not a huge bow, just a little bow. And I think I'm only going to make it a double bow. And let's see, we will cut it short. Like that. And then we're going to take another little piece of this and cut it off. I just feel like that's a little too thick. Here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to take and cut this right down the middle. Okay. We're going to use this piece to tie around the bow. That's the front. This is the back here. So I'm just going to very quickly tie this in a knot. I don't have the greatest grip on this at all. Let's make sure we've got it centered as best we can, anyway. Oh, got an itch on my eye. Okay, I'm gonna tighten that up. And we're gonna crisscross it and go back to the back side here. And we're going to tie another knot, and this time it'll be a double knot. And one more time. Didn't really need to wrap around it that second time, but I did it anyway. Just because I normally don't even do that. Okay, so the little side is the front, so we've got it twisted so much that, why did it, I think it kind of flipped. There we go. All right, so there we go. We've got our front, we've got our back. That's that side, that's that side. And that's a pretty little bow. And it's stiff lace. This is a stiffer lace, so I can kind of fluff up this bow and make it kind of stay a little bit fluffier. So we have a bow. Next, we're going to take let me cut the rest of this down the middle here, because I want to see if I can just use this scalloped side here as my hanger. So how do I want to do this? Do I want to like put it through and just tie a knot on the back side? And then I can kind of glue it into place so it's not all over the place. I don't usually do them this way. I usually do them in the middle and make a little, just almost like what's on an ornament hanger. But I was just thinking I'd do this a little differently. You know me, I gotta have some change in my life. And we'll make a knot, and this just does not want to sit still. There we go. Boom. And then it's gonna go right there. And don't worry about that little piece. We're not worried about that right now. And that should be long enough right there. So let's go ahead and pop this through again. Right about like that. And I'm just going to use this side to tie with. Get a hold of it, tie it in the back, and let's flip her over and knot it one more time. And now we're going to snip off. I don't need to have all this stuff around. It's just making it look messy. We are going to snip and snip. I don't know that I'll keep that piece of lace, but it's there just in case I do want to. So there we go. We have a little hanger here, and then I'm thinking we'll put the bow right here in the center, kind of going off to the sides like that. And then do I have a pretty something for the middle? Not that. That's too big. Not that. Too much. What if I used one of those? No. Okay, how about just a little white flower? Gosh, I feel like I need something rhinestoney. That should do okay. So let's go ahead, and originally I was thinking I would put the bow sort of up here. still feel like I want something in that middle section there. It's really bugging me. That actually looks pretty. Okay. So do I want to just take this and kind of form a loop up there and tie this around it? And that way the loop will be what we hang it from, and it will have a nice bow. In that spot, and that will hang on a nail easily. And we can still keep those on there. And you can see I can fit my pinky through there. As long as I can fit my pinky through it, I think I'm good. And get those two sides. There we go. Had to get this part even. Didn't even realize it wasn't even. Okay. And this piece here wants to go kind of in its own direction. So I'm going to glue it down to the bow in the back. And I just use my silicone mat to do that. Of course, Carol. What is going on here? The bow just kept wanting to twist around the other way. Okay, you guys. No more wonkiness. There we go. Nope, that's still... And of course I put glue on that. Whoopsies. Almost pulled the whole thing through. I guess this is just taking a little longer than I expected. Should have been the easiest part. Okay. There. Now we're even. Even Steven. I'm going to put that there, and I still need something in the middle of this bow. I just feel if I put that on, it's just going to end up coming off. Where at least this, once I put the glue on it, the glue will stay with the paper rose. So there's that. Now, do I want to put this here? Or do I want to leave it off? No yellow flowers. No big flowers. Let's cut some of this stuff off up in here. It's a little too much. Okay, you guys. I think I'm just looking around up here to make sure there's nothing else that I've got. What did I do with it? This. And I had considered putting this up here like that. But I feel like it just adds nothing, and I refuse to waste pieces of this because I only have like six scallops of that. And I'm not going to waste them on a place that I feel like they don't go. So I'm over here looking for something. I'd like something with rhinestones up here. I wonder if I cut this right here. And then, take this side and sort of do the same. Leave the center part on the chain. Maybe if I go sort of like that. They kind of don't match. Do we need to go this way? I think so. There we go. That's a little bit better. No, doesn't do anything for it. Nope. All right, you guys. It looks like the white flower is going to win for this time. Got a white one. I've got a pink one. And I'm going to decide between these two. So there's the pink. The pink actually looks pretty. It kind of adds that blast of color. It's not a blast, that little tiny punch of color. And that does not add a whole lot. So I think we're going to go with the little pink flower. And I think she will be happy. There we go. I like that. Perfect. Okay, you guys, we're done. We're really done. I did change up the other butterfly though, or bumblebee here. I added the blue flower and took out one of the white ones, and I added a yellow flower, and I'm going to use this on my other one. And I'm going to use some of those blue flowers on the base to come out behind it. We're going to do it the right way this time. We'll put those on first. Although it didn't really negatively impact this, so I'm really happy about that. I didn't put my little doohickey back on my B7000, which is what I always forget to do. Okay, you guys, so this is it. This is our finished wall hanger. Isn't it gorgeous? Look at her. Oh my goodness, she's beautiful. So anyway, that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's longer than I expected it to be. I just thought I was going to get through one video without any problems, and I swear something always comes up. It just does. It's just how I roll. But that's okay. I'm totally okay with it. I had a fun time putting this one together, and an even funner time seeing this finished piece. I think it's absolutely stunning. The only thing that I would question or maybe do or add, possibly, I'm thinking possibly some glass glitter. I'm thinking some glass glitter would be really pretty on the Bumblebee, like on the wings, and maybe a little bit on her body right here. Just that little bit. Maybe a tiny sprinkle on the flowers here. Not these flowers, just the flowers that are in the decals. And do that. Wouldn't that be gorgeous? But here is our finished piece, you guys. She's gorgeous. And I do love this tassel. I just think it came out so beautiful. And this was one of those things I just threw together like really quick. And it seems like when I do that, I end up with my more favorite pieces. I really do. Every time I do something, and it's usually the stuff I do on my own time, like when I'm not doing videos, because I don't put that added stress on myself. And look at, I just burnt the edge of that flower and it looks amazing. Look at it, just got that one little burnt edge. If you can see it, look at it's right here. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I just burnt that one edge and it looks really cool. So guess what I'm going to be trying next? Look at, I'm going to do one right now in front of your eyes before I go. Watch. Oop, I didn't mean to let it catch on fire. I guess some of them will catch fire. So if you're going to do this, be really careful. I mean, it hasn't ruined it yet. It looks really cool, you guys. Oh my goodness, it looks so cool. Oh boy. Whew. I'm almost done. Goodness, now I ruined it. Well, it's not ruined, but I almost ruined it, but look at it. It looks really cool. I did get a couple of the petals like way too much, but putting them together and putting them with other ones, you can kind of layer them on top of each other and you wouldn't even know that happened. But those would be pretty for like putting on top of a journal. Wouldn't that be gorgeous? Make them all vintagey looking and do them on top of a journal. Oh my goodness. I would be a whole lot more careful though the next time. Anyway, you guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I love this one and I hope you'll give something like this a try. Yeah, I will put the links to the clay and to my resin and the Bumblebee mold. And I'm going to try and find the flower mold. I'm kind of hoping maybe it was one that I bought, but I want to say it was one that Melba gave me. I'm not sure, but I'll be looking for it. The link to Bird's Place 21 will be in there. Don't forget, get over there and be there for Debbie's sale on August 8th. That's when her sale is going to be. And you guys, I'm not kidding you. You don't want to, even if you can't spend money on this one, get over there and look at it and see, you know, what you want to save your money for the next time, because she has a lot of similar items a lot of times, but she always has a lot of lace. And she gets her paper flowers, not for every sale, but for some of her sales, she has the paper flowers and stuff like that. So, yeah, get over there, get signed up, get joined up. And if you have any trouble, let me know. You can PM me, and I will see if I can help you get yourself in there. She has a questionnaire that you have to answer in order to get in, and you do have to have a photograph with your profile picture, because she wants to know that she can match you up to a name. Because here's the deal, when you have those pages like that where you sell stuff and it's completely on your own, people do terrible things and they rip you off, and it has happened to her, and she is very in-tuned to wanting to make sure she does everything she can to prevent that from happening to her again. So please, you guys, make sure that when you go over there that you have a picture profile when you get joined up, okay? That's very important, numero uno, because if you don't, she will turn you down. She won't even entertain adding you to the group. So it's a very safe group, a wonderful group of mostly ladies, and everybody gets along really great. We give each other ideas and stuff, tips and tricks. Debbie does her sales, and she shows us a lot of the items that she makes, and yeah, we have conversations, and it's a great little group, and I love all the girls in there. Many of them are my subscribers, and I trust Debbie. Debbie is a trustworthy soul. She does what she says she's going to do, and so you don't have to worry about that. I have known Debbie for many years now. We've never met in person, but I have bought many an item from her, and I've been friends with her long enough to know that she's a safe place to go. It's a safe page to join, and you'll love her. You'll grow to love her as much as I do. She's the cutest darn thing ever. So anyway, get on over there, get joined on Bird's Place 21. Again, the link will be down below. And and I have to tell you guys, oh my gosh, I got my friend Robin sent me some happy mail. She sent me some beads too, but I have to go out in the other room to get them, and it's just some little seed shell beads that are so pretty, but I'll show those to you in the next video. But I was telling you guys how much I needed some seam binding in different colors. Look what she sent me, you guys. I love seam binding. And this is the kind that I use for all of my like tassels and things like that. She's got me browns and blacks and grays and pinks and purples and red and green. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. Orange, yellow, beige, ivory. She just got me every color under the rainbow, and I want to say thank you so much, Robin. You are a doll. What would I do without you? You've been so kind and generous to me, And I just can't thank you enough for all the sweet little things that you send me. You know, it's gotten me through many a video, let me tell you. Because of some of the things she's sent me that I've never had before. I figured out some new stuff to make, and I love it. You know, she got me really using a lot of the nail charms and the tiny flowers that I get that are nail charms. She started that. And that kind of thing. So yeah, she's just a doll, and I want to say thank you so much, Robin, for your kindness and your generosity. All right, you guys, have a great day. Be blessed, be well, be safe, love your family, be kind, please be kind, and God bless each and every one of you. I love you guys, and I thank you for being here for me and subscribing. If you're not subscribed, I hope you will. Subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, give it a hype, please. I could use those hypes. It helps me out. And subscribe, okay? I'll see you all soon in the next video. Love ya. Bye.